Ronald Reagan's life lessons men learn too late in life. There is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. I have left orders to be awakened at any time in case of national emergency, even if I'm in a cabinet meeting. If you can't make them see the light, make them feel the heat. The ultimate determinant in the struggle now going on for the world will not be bombs and rockets but a test of wills and ideas. Surround yourself with the best people you can find, delegate authority, and don't interfere. You can tell a lot about a fellow's character by his way of eating jelly beans. Freedom prospers when religion is vibrant and the rule of law under God is acknowledged. Government's first duty is to protect the people, not run their lives. Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, "I'm from the government, and I'm here to help." Man is not free unless government is limited. Peace is not absence of conflict, it is the ability to handle conflict by peaceful means. We can't help everyone, but everyone can help someone. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted, it belongs to the brave. The best minds are not in government. If any were, business would hire them away. Heroes may not be braver than anyone else. They're just braver 5 minutes longer. Government exists to protect us from each other. Where government has gone beyond its limits is in deciding to protect us from ourselves. The greatest leader is not necessarily the one who does the greatest things. He is the one that gets the people to do the greatest things. There are no easy answers, but there are simple answers. We must have the courage to do what we know is morally right. The trouble with our liberal friends is not that they're ignorant, it's just that they know so much that isn't so. A recession is when your neighbor loses his job. A depression is when you lose yours. And recovery is when Jimmy Carter loses his. It's difficult to believe that people are still starving in this country because food isn't available. We will always remember. We will always be proud. We will always be prepared, so we may always be free. I've noticed that everyone who is for abortion has already been born. The government's view of the economy could be summed up in a few short phrases. If it moves, tax it. If it keeps moving, regulate it. And if it stops moving, subsidize it. Politics is not a bad profession. If you succeed, there are many rewards. If you disgrace yourself, you can always write a book. The taxpayer. That's someone who works for the federal government but doesn't have to take the civil service examination. The best possible thing in baseball is winning the World Series. The second best thing is losing the World Series. All great change in America begins at the dinner table. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. There is no limit to what a man can do or where he can go if he doesn't mind who gets the credit. Concentrated power has always been the enemy of liberty. I've never been able to understand why a Republican contributor is a fat cat, and a Democratic contributor of the same amount of money is a public-spirited philanthropist. I hope we have once again reminded people that man is not free unless government is limited. There's a clear cause and effect here that is as neat and predictable as a law of physics. As government expands, liberty contracts. I know in my heart that man is good, that what is right will always eventually triumph, and there is purpose and worth to each and every life. Information is the oxygen of the modern age. It seeps through the walls topped by barbed wire, it wafts across the electrified borders. Peace is not just the absence of conflict, it is the presence of justice. Government does not solve problems, it subsidizes them. We who live in free market societies believe that growth, prosperity, and ultimately human fulfillment are created from the bottom up, not the government down. If history teaches anything, it teaches self-delusion in the face of unpleasant facts is folly. We don't have $1 trillion debt because we haven't taxed enough. We have $1 trillion debt because we spend too much. I've said it before and I'll say it again, America's best days are yet to come. The American dream is not that every man must be level with every other man. The American dream is that every man must be free to become whatever God intends he should become. If we love our country, we should also love our countrymen. I've never believed that government has all the answers. In fact, government has very few answers. I've never believed that government can solve all our problems. No arsenal, or no weapon in the arsenals of the world, is so formidable as the will and moral courage of free men and women. Each generation goes further than the generation preceding it because it stands on the shoulders of that generation. You will have opportunities beyond anything we've ever known. Freedom is the right to question and change the established way of doing things. Democracy is worth dying for, because it's the most deeply honorable form of government ever devised by man. The problem is not that people are taxed too little, the problem is that government spends too much. I've learned that something constructive comes from every defeat. Thanks for watching video. Like, share and subscribe to watch for more.